the Niners are going to Justin Fields Pro Day on Wednesday, and it's almost like a private workout for the 49ers. If you don't know Crocker's big on the Justin Fields train. So what I would like to ask you is not should they, because I know you think they should, but will they draft Justin Fields? Best prediction, why or why not?
In my like deep down in my core, I don't think so.
Okay.
Deep down in my core, I feel like it's between Mac Jones and Trey Lance. That's just kind of a feeling I have, like, and I don't know why. And the crazy thing is, if I were gonna give up a whole lot of draft capital or trade up, it wouldn't be for Trey Lance or Mac Jones. But I feel like that's kind of the route. I just getting that sense, just kind of hearing how people are talking and the changing the tunes and trying to piece things together. I feel like they're trying to decide between those two. And I don't think they know exactly which way they want to go just yet. I think they have an idea. But that's kind of my heart's heart. And I love Fields in the sense of like what he could be. You know, I think we look at a lot of guys like, you know, Deshaun Watson and all these other guys where we see what they've become. But if you kind of go back and you look at like even the Deshaun Watson scouting report, there were a lot of things that people had questions about. There were a lot of things that they were like, well, he doesn't do this well, or he doesn't do this well.
Threw a lot of picks.
Threw a lot of interceptions. He turned the ball over a lot.
That was the thing at Clemson. Yeah,
he got outdueled by Nathan Peterman. People
were looking for reasons to knock him, and then he fell to 12.
And it fell to 12. And there were a lot of people mocking him in the 20s. But then you see what he's become, and you see this polarizing quarterback who's, you know, considered top 5, top 6, top 7 guy. He's young, he's athletic, he's throwing a deep ball. He does all these things, and it's like, man, let's not overthink things. Can we coach him up? And I think he went to a situation. However you feel about Bill O'Brien, he does it. He was a good coach. Now he was a terrible GM, but he was a good coach. And I thought Watson went to the situation, a good situation for him, to where he could excel and kind of do things, you know, where it's like meeting his maximum potential. That was a great landing spot for him, and you see it pay off. I look at somebody like Fields, and I'm like, man, I could see Fields being that guy where there are things where, you know, he's not perfect here, he's not perfect there, but he is the ultimate playmaker. He has the ultimate ability. Now let's just try to work and put it all together, you know. And I think that would be great. But again, something in my heart just saying they're not going that way at all. It's either Mac Jones or Trey Lance.
Well, think about this. Everyone's saying, you know, will the Niners pass on Justin Fields or take him? What about the Jets? What about the Jets? It seems to me like everyone expects the Jets to take Zach Wilson, but dude, Zach Wilson is a kid from Utah who's never really faced scrutiny like Justin Fields has been facing since high school. I mean, people have been picking apart Justin Fields since he was 17. And that's what's going to happen to any quarterback that gets drafted by – you play for the Jets. You know how much scrutiny Mark Sanchez and Geno Smith – it's really
I was
hard.
there. I was there
really,
for the transition between Mark Sanchez – because I was there – when Geno got drafted, I was there. So I was there before because I reported for OTAs. And then, you know, the draft happens after that. So I saw it when it was just like Mark Sanchez, and then boom, I see draft day and kind of the dynamics of how that kind of swung things and just how awkward it was and the weirdness of the whole situation. I was there for all that.
I think it takes a particular type of quarterback to work on the Jets or the Giants. Like, it's so much pressure and scrutiny. And I feel like Justin Fields has been handling that a long time. Zach Wilson never has. I don't know that Zach Wilson necessarily is the best fit for the Jets. And all these people saying great things about Justin Fields, like Richie Sherman, why wouldn't Robert Saleh feel that way? I feel like Justin Fields could go number 2, although it seems like that's everyone in New York thinks it's not going to happen. It's going to be the Zach Wilson.
But it sounds like that's what they're giving you. Like, I mean, you know, when you the GM and just like the vibes of, oh, you know, hanging out with his family or, you know, kind of building that where it's just like it's a done deal. But I'm with you. I don't think that Zach Wilson, where I do think he has a lot of ability, I think there are a ton of question marks. One, he's had injury issues, right? Which nobody talks about. But, you know, you start talking about a labrum and shoulder and all that, rotator, whatever it was.
Scary.
I feel like that is a scary thing, a big deal. The level of competition, no matter how I put out the question the other day, like, hey, what's the difference between Drew Lock and Zach Wilson? And the most consistent response I got was, accuracy and decision-making, right? Which they didn't say anything about the ability. It was more so accuracy.
Really good question. No, the only difference is the running, man. Zach Wilson's quick. He's quick.
But it's easier to be quick and be able to showcase that in your decision making and your accuracy when you're going up against North Alabama as opposed to Alabama's defense, as opposed to LSU's defense. Like they're playing more man coverage, or playing tighter coverage, or playing against elite secondary guys. Where when you look at Zach Wilson, a lot of his stuff is just, I'm just going to throw it up, 50-50 ball. My guys jump up, they make plays. Or your guys making those same plays against LSU and Alabama. And that was kind of what Drew Lock went up against, right? Mm-hmm. Where now you can't run. You're not running away from the defensive ends from Alabama. You're not running away from the defensive ends from LSU. Zach Wilson hasn't necessarily had to deal with that. And when he has in the previous year,
hasn't gone great.
It wasn't great, And again, I think he has terrific ability. I think he is accurate. I think he does all these things, but I gotta see, I just have some questions as opposed to Fields, where there are some questions on just hey, can he become a better processor? But it's not. There aren't questions about
big enough.
Is he big enough?
Handle
is he athletic enough?
NFL speed? Yeah, because when you watch freaking Zach Wilson, he looks like Kyler, but he's not going to look like Kyler in the NFL. He's not anywhere near Kyler's level of athleticism. Right. So what's he going to be? I know. Early on in the process, we compared him to Johnny Manziel. That's probably not fair, but in terms of just raw athleticism, he's more closer to Johnny, I would say.
Right.